So I was on a walk and I saw that Pinus Silyvestris is in flower. It's the 16th of May for those of you who like to keep a track of the seasons and the months of when things are flowering. So look at all these amazing, magnificent golden candles on this tree. So as you can see here, the pine flower, it holds a masculine part here which is full of these golden buds, and at the top here is the female part of the flower, and it self-pollinates. It has a masculine and feminine flower within itself. And if you look, when you brush here, golden dust, I don't want to waste it, it's flying into the breeze. So we're actually becoming a pollinator at this moment and helping this tree to pollinate, to make its most glorious pineapples. These beautiful, beautiful apples are pine cones. They have such amazing sacred geometry to them. If you want to see a Fibonacci sequence in nature, come and examine a pine cone. How incredible. So pine. The word pine actually comes from the Sanskrit name, which derives from the word fat. Because this tree is so full of oil, it is so good. Its pine resin is so good for our skin, it's anti-inflammatory, it helps to heal eczema, psoriasis, or anything that's inflamed. It helps with wounds as well. You can make an amazing balm from the resin. Not only that, the actual resin itself is so full of oil that you can use it while you're doing all of your wildcrafting skills, lighting your bushcraft fires. You can use pine resin afterwards to really give your fire a boost, and yeah, like rocket fuel. Also, it's really great for making torches, so you can use it with bulrush and wood and make yourself a pine resin torch, which is so much fun. Yeah, so the resin is so good also for pine pitch, so you can make a glue which basically bonds any natural surface to the other. It's so great for your wildcrafting skills, for making arrows and all sorts. I mean, the endless possibilities that you can co-create with this tree and its resources and what it can share with us. For me though, today, what I'm really interested in this small window of time is to harvest the pollen. It's a really small window of time because the pollen gets blown, gets rained on, and it only flowers for a short period. And these flowers are so delicate, you can literally rub off these golden buds here that hold all the pollen. So pine pollen. There's so many interrelationships we can have with the pine tree, which is why in so many other cultures it's seen as a sacred tree, because the amount of relationship that you can have with this tree is absolutely incredible. So the pine pollen is so good for our hormonal system. It balances our system. It works with the pineal gland. As you can see from the doctrine of signatures, it looks like a pineal gland, and our pineal gland and pine, pretty much the same name. So a great synergy there between us and the tree. The other thing is that the pine pollen is an adaptogen. So during really, really stressful times, it's a great medicine to take for our bodies and ourselves to feel a sense of balance when we're feeling all of that overwhelm. The other amazing quality of the pine pollen is it's an anti-inflammatory, so it takes inflammation out of the body, which is so damaging to our system. So taking out that inflamed feeling so that it eases sore joints, arthritis. So if you have any inflammation in the body, this is a great native to use, to come and to craft some wild medicine with. It's also an antioxidant, and it's proven to slow down the aging of cells. Our cells have a limited number of time that it can split and reproduce, and pine pollen slows down that process. So it slows down signs of aging in the body. And it's not just about, you know, wrinkles and all of that, but actually our physical bodies to have longevity and restorative, and it brings a regenerative feeling to the whole system. And on top of that, it brings a cognitive clarity, and it helps to with that space and that clarity for memory recall. So it's really great if you're studying or you're needing to be on point mentally. For cognitive health, this tree is just so fantastic. It's so good. It's amazing. Then you add in on top of that it's basically a food source, the amount of nutritional quality that it has as a mineral, but also as a vitamin, and it's especially high in B and E. So pine pollen, there's a reason why it's gold. You know, it is literally like gold dust. So, you know, what an opportunity to come out and harvest gold dust for your body. So there are just a couple of things to keep in mind. Make sure you do your own research. Make sure that you fully identified the tree correctly. Pinus sylvestris, Scots pine, our native, from the Highlands. The other thing that you need to consider, because it works hormonally, you need to look at your own picture, your own body, and know what is right for you for your hormones, because it is high in testosterone. So we're always looking to be listening to our own body and to be seeing how we're feeling, and also to know with allergies. Obviously, if you have an allergy to pine pollen, this isn't the one for you. So yeah, take care. But there's many other ways that you can interact with this amazing tree. It's pine needles. Oh, they're so good, so full of vitamin C. I mean, a tea with those pine needles is better than a glass of orange juice without the sugar. So again, it's so good for the brain, so good for the body, and it's so easy to harvest. As you can see here, I've taken off a couple of the flowers, but I've mostly tapped the pollen, and as you tap the pollen, the dust comes off, the pollen comes off as you tap the flower, and you can harvest it in a jar or a bag. I'm going to do an alcohol extraction with mine and make a medicinal tincture, but you could use that pollen in a smoothie, you could use the pollen in your breakfast, however you wanted to use the pollen. And it's very easy to extract. You can just take a brown paper bag and hold the flower over and just tap and allow the pollen to go in, or you can dip it in and give it a shake, and you'll see all that wonderful gold dust go flying off and pollinating all the other flowers, and you get some for you. So, Pinus sylvestris, go out, explore, harvest, craft, and get to know our wonderful medicinal native species.